I have a dream.
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 This year, the City of Lakeland and the MLK Parade Committee developed a video tribute recognizing Dr. King's passion for a dream, a vision, and unity for all humanity. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born January 15, 1929. From childhood, King pursued equality, and at age 15, he was enrolled at Morehouse College. Dr. King was a Baptist minister and a social activist who played a key role in the American Civil Rights Movement. Dr. King is best known for his role in advancing civil rights through nonviolence efforts.
As a young teen, I was witnessing Martin Luther King, growing up watching his nonviolent protests, watching the reactions of people, and it grieved my heart. And one of the things that matters most to me as I became an adult was the fact that we honor people equally, that we find no differentiation in what some people have access to and other people do not, but rather that we work all the time to provide as much equality as possible across the board with people's resources, with people's mentoring, with people's accessibility, with provisions for all as are required. And so I think one of the wonderful elements of Lift Lakeland is that it enables us to start to look for things that are gaps in our community that help us to accomplish that on a daily basis. And I'm so thrilled to work with a commission and in a city where I know that the ultimate goal is to honor everyone.
Dr. King dream and what it means to me. I tell you, for being a part of the, I guess you call, another part of the civil rights movement in my, college years, I was able to be a part of seeing and being a witness to Dr. King's mother being assassinated, and in the church that morning. And I was a student intern at Atlanta Police Department during that time, and just to be able to capture, and I witnessed myself as a young man, the things that was the struggles that happened even with the civil rights movement. And Dr. King, of course, making sure that it was equality of all people, not just black, white, all people. And I tell you now, even some now 50 plus odd years later, still having somewhat of a struggle, but certainly we've seen some improvement, even though there are many things that still could be done to make sure that equality is here for all people. So I stand here before you as one of the elected officials of our city to say I think we made a movement here in our particular community called Lakeland to support what his dream was all about, that's equality, making sure that everyone had adequate jobs and adequate pay, adequate housing, making sure that our inner cities were not challenged by the different things that could be challenged with, but we were working on those things to make sure improvements are made. So we continue to just say that we work toward what we can to make sure his dream stay alive, that we all as people, individuals, can have relationships with one another, black, white, green, yellow, brown, whatever your nationality may be, and we come across those lines to be able to hear and listen and hear concerns about what others have to say. So I ask you to continue to do that, continue to join with us to making his dream be alive.
While racial tension in the South reached new highs during the 1950s, in 1955, Dr. King, with the help of Rosa Parks, led the Montgomery bus boycott. The boycott of public transportation led to African Americans having the right to sit anywhere on the bus. Segregation continued in the South, prompting Dr. King to help organize the March on Washington. In 1963, King delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech in front of a crowd estimated between 200,000 and 300,000.
I have a dream. And so, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out its true meaning of its creed.
We hold these truths to be self-evident
that all men are created equal.
I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of the former slaves and the sons of the former slaves' owners
will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood.
I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi,
A state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
I have a dream that one day,
right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers.
I have a dream that every valley shall be exalted,
and every hill and mountain shall be made low.
the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight.
In 1964, Dr. King was named by Time magazine Man of the Year and wins the Nobel Peace Prize. In 1965, he also helped organize the March on Selma, which contributed to the Voting Rights Act, but many lost their lives. On April 4, 1968, Dr. King was assassinated. Many believe the dream and the vision also died with him that very same day. 10 years after Dr. King's death, a lady by the name of Christine Simmons also had a dream and vision for unity in the Lakeland community. She was known as a civic leader, scoutmaster, and a retired school crossing guard, and the founder of Lakeland's annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade. She went to the city for help, and in 1978, the parade was born. While the MLK Parade originally consisted of scouts marching in honor of slain civil rights leaders, it eventually grew into a large-scale parade with marching bands and float from local clubs, businesses, and churches. Also, with the help of the Education and Enrichment Group, known as EEG, the parade would later be surrounded by a weekend of activities to include concerts, prayer breakfasts, and oratorical contests for the youth. The city of Lakeland has been a big supporter of the Martin Luther King Jr. Parade. A few city leaders decided to share their thoughts on what Dr. King's legacy means to them and how his dream and vision still lives on throughout the Lakeland community.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a great leader for our nation. He was a selfless leader, something that the City of Lakeland community should take an example from. For his work was not for his own betterment, but for the betterment of his fellow man. A rich history in our country and for our community.
We're in the people business. That means all of the people. We're giving a voice to those who don't have one and the opportunity to be heard. We solve problems collaboratively. Inclusiveness makes our community better. We're working each day to do better and be better. The next generation is counting on us. All of these lessons are from Dr. King and how I'm living his legacy in the city of Lakeland.
Hey, on behalf of the men and women of the Lakeland Police Department, we want to come out and honor Dr. King on his day and tell you that your police department certainly looks forward to working with all our residents in 2021 as we move forward to work together for unity in our community. We certainly know that we're all better together, and we look forward to partnering with everyone as we move forward in 2021. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you.
Martin Luther King Day, to me, represents equality, represents a better community, and representing advancing the dreams of others in our community. That's so very important for all of our children as they come up through our community to understand that that's what we stand for.
Dr. MLK was big on unity, and so are we at the City of Lakeland and within the Recreation Division. We try to bring our staff together to be one and unified together and have a great place for everyone to come and visit at all of our facilities.
Dr. Martin Luther King said, "Only through darkness can we see the stars." Lakeland today, as we go through COVID-19 and this pandemic crisis, where we consider part of the darkness, we must continue to remember that we are unified as a community. We will continue to rise above everything that has happened and is happening in our community today. And when I use the word stars, I speak of the people that have pioneered before us, those that will continue to walk this walk, and those that will come along in the future. Those are the stars. Let's focus on the future. Let's focus on our legacies. Let's focus on what Dr. King's message meant for Lakeland. And today we stand together. We stand unified. We will never be divided. COVID-19 will pass, and we will have things to continue to remember in this community. Continue to make Lakeland a great place to live, work, and play, and you are a very big part of it.
As we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, we remember his legacy, we remember his life, we remember the laws that he left for us to follow. And this year in 2020, we want to make sure that we are engaging in supporting unity and promoting working hard and diligence, but most of all, standing up with justice. Because a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And if you join in together in both praying and working, we can help solve these problems, that the dream can be realized. And if we work together and unify on those things which we agree upon, we can make a difference. God has given us agency, and your value, your worth, your strength, your work does matter.
Hello, Lakeland community. I'm Cora Rankins, and I stand before you to answer a question: is Dr. Martin Luther King's dream alive here in Lakeland? And I say to you, yes, it is. We have a symphony of brotherhood that has taken place here in Lakeland, Florida. We have diversity on our boards that brings together different cultures, different religions to come together to solve problems or just to serve in whatever manner is needed in our community. Not only that, the city boards are set up to where diversity has to occur. We have to listen to the voices of each community to come together to be as strong as we are. MLK Into the Future left us some things to do and how to strive to have a better community. One is to have a love for your culture and then a love for America. In the I Have a Dream speech, he always wanted us to come together as one. And as we do that, we look at us as a human family. And when we start looking at things as a human family, we know that Dr. King's dream is truly alive. So we say, yes, his dream is alive here in Lakeland. As we continue to strive to better our communities using the diversity and the way that we're set up as a makeup, the laymen on the boards volunteering their time, we can still be the community that Dr. King dreams for the future.
Hi, my name is Natalie Gallen, former coordinator for the Martin Luther King Parade. We have gone from chaos to organization. We've had change, we had diversity. We have overcome. We are as one. We have togetherness. We have the community that's involved with the committee. We have seen the good times, the bad times. We remember Miss Christine Simmons being the founder. And along the way, Mr. Christine Simmons got me involved with helping her out to organize the parade. With that being said, we are now looking at something that's positive with Martin Luther King. As far as Martin Luther King Jr., we want to always remember he's someone positive, always had unity, always wanted the community to come together regardless of your race, your religion, or whatever. Everyone is one, unity, one love. Thank you.
Since the I Have a Dream speech, America has made strides towards equality for all, including many firsts in our nation's history. Lakeland's leadership, made up of elected officials, city employees, community leaders, and citizens, all do a great job of working together and creating a culturally diverse, enriching community. Lakeland has been fortunate not to deal with the riots and the protests to the degree of the surrounding cities. This speaks highly to the leadership and the unity this community embodies every day, which shows that Dr. King's dream and vision does live on.
This speech means unity, love, and compassion to everyone.
His speech means freedom for before generations and generations after us.
That we can live in this world with unity and love.
It means that you can follow your dreams.
It means that black people can have the right to do the same thing as white people.
I have a dream.